thoughts on this afternoon then, Neil?
Disappointing performance, really. Puffed and puffed. Disappointing to lose the game. Did we deserve anything out of it? On the balance of play, probably not. But really, do we deserve to lose as well? I think the decision just on the stroke of half time has probably killed the game. I've got to be honest with you. I thought we were right in the game, looked strong, looked disciplined, didn't look like we were going to concede. Had the better opportunities of the first half, and looked a threat of set pieces, everything that I want us to be, especially away from home. And then a decision that nobody else in the ground sees for me. And
what's the referee said about that?
Well, this is what amazes me. And I'm not. You don't want to sit here talking about the referee for too long because it's boring. But I'm seeing probably what everybody else is seeing. Chiefs are having a challenge with their centre half from a set piece, or the ball, but the second phase of play, and everybody's watching that. He's saying that Luke Bottomer has pushed the centre half. Well, I didn't see that, and nobody else on the ground saw that. And so he's saying that. Well, you come off the pitch at full time, and their manager and assistant manager saying that the referee told them that it was for Shooter pushing him. So there's a crossover of opinions. The ref saying it's the 10, and he's telling their bench it's the 5. So something doesn't add up somewhere. But having said that, they score from the penalty, and then it's hard to get back into a game, especially away from home against opposition like this. Did we do enough second half to get back into it? Probably not. Huffed and puffed again. First 20 minutes, had a go, made some positive, what I thought would be positive changes. Switched to a 4-4-2, got some width down the sides, and tried to have a go at them. And we huffed and puffed. I just thought we were probably, we've got another gear to go, another notch to go, but we didn't look like we were going to ever get back into the game.
I mean, first off, Dominic Dale and Ryan Winter, we're putting them under a fair amount of pressure, considering they've not played together, and really looked the part. Going forward, say second half, it just never seemed to click, did it?
It went to like a damp squib, wasn't it? Second half, we never looked like we could get back into the game. They get their second goal, and it's even more difficult. We never really looked like we could get back into the game. That disappoints me. But you're right. I thought, for the first time this season, especially away from home, if you count all the home and away games, I looked at us from the side from minute one, and we looked like a unit. We look like a side that's capable of playing Northern Prem football. We look big, we look strong, we've got some pace in the side up front and down the sides. All right, we switched to a 3-5-2. We look like we've got pace down either flank. A bit of trickery in the middle of the park with bots, whilst having a physical presence, and a bit of pace and presence up front. And what I saw from the first minute, we put into practice for 25 minutes. We looked at it, and we looked to threat. We put them under pressure. Some cracking set pieces going into the box. And we look decent, and that's what it's going to be going through the winter now. The pitches are going to get heavier, and a lot of the results that we hopefully get will be from getting decent set pieces, decent ball into the box, and winning your bits in and around the box, and being able to play in the final third. And I thought we did that well, first half especially, and then I don't know whether that decision.
I was going to say
it's killed it.
It is that. I mean, we were sat behind the home dugout. No one appealed there either.
But none of their players
appealed.
appealed.
Anyone could understand. Hang on, what's he given? It just seemed, as you say, I think it seemed to affect the team more than if it had been a different sort of contentious decision where people would appeal for it.
Yeah, but you don't lose the game because of that. I mean, if it's affected us as a side, then there's an issue, because that's going to happen again sooner or later in the season. So we've got to sort that out. I would hope that wasn't the reason. But if it has affected us, then we've got to have a bit of metal about us and show some spirit to get back into the game. You've been dealt a dodgy hand, and you have to try and get round that and get yourself back into the game. You've been hard done by, and you need the lads to pull together and show some spirit. I don't think we really did that second half. Like I say, we often puffed, and what I thought we made what I thought were some positive changes to go and affect the game. And for the first time this season, you look at my bench today, and I've got a bench that you can look around and think you got some impact here, and but it hasn't happened. So
Nathan Smith, not a bad debut for an 18-year-old.
Well, considering, I've just said to the lads in there, that 4-game run we've just had, 3 clean sheets, 3 wins and a draw with the Tibberdale game, 3 clean sheets on the bounce. We've had 8 out of 10s out of most of the lads in there, some 9s as well, and it's been a nice little run. All right, we've lost today, Too many sixes, too many 6 out of 10s today for me. But he was a 9. I thought he was excellent. For an 18-year-old kid, welcome to non-league football. I thought he was superb in a 3 and in a 2. And I thought Dominic Dale was excellent as well for his hour.
Yeah, we handled Carl Ashton particularly well. He never looked like scoring. I mean, okay, he hit the post, but he didn't really look like scoring today, Carl.
No, well, that we set up to nullify that. You know, last week we set up slightly differently to nullify the Richard Blythe effect at rugby, and we set up different today to try and nullify Carl Ashton's effect. And I thought that worked well. We got a screen on. You know, we've got a screen with Dakers or Dancer in front just to stop the ball into Carl, the easy ball in, and shoots. And I thought Nathan Joe looked after Carl and Demi quite well first half. You know, and what bits of play Carl had, I thought he did well. I've got to say, he did okay up there. But I thought we looked after him better than we looked after him at our place. But then, you know, they take Carl Ashton off after round and bring Jacob Hazel on. You know, the kid was at Chesterfield last season playing first team football, so you have to contend with that. Comes on 2 minutes, he scores. So, you know, you've got to be pleased for an 18-year-old kid. I know he's a pro at Port Vale, but it can be a bit of a learning curve for the youngsters coming into non-league football. And for 18 years of age, I thought he looked $1 million.
Different game coming up on Tuesday. You know, we've already beaten Kids Grove once. They're in turmoil again, having no manager. Just got to go on and start the next run, haven't we?
Yeah, just start the next run. I mean, it's not the first time it's happened this season. We've lost a football match. You know, we've not lost many, but we've had a little mini run of 4 games. We've lost today. You know, wipe our brow and have another bash Tuesday and go on another mini run. You know, hopefully 1 or 2 results have gone for us. It's not the first time it's happened. It won't be the last. There'll be a point in the season where we'll have had a decent run and we'll lose at home or away, and you just have to dust yourself down and go again, and and make sure everybody's right for Tuesday. It'd be tough Tuesday because although the manager's gone and the lad that was in charge when we went their place a few months ago has took over as like a caretaker coach. The players, I believe, have stayed that the new guy brought in, and we've had them watch. They got 1 or 2 decent lads. So, if you're telling me they've got a 0-0 today, then against Loughborough, who have signed 4 players in the week, it'll be a tough game, and we've got to approach it right and make sure that we're right and bounce back quickly.
Cheers, mate. See
you
Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.